fascinated, at least that's what they tell us. And we're just kind of going back and forth here. All that to say is that nothing's really changed here. We have to focus on the charts, focus on the BPA. People are struggling big time. Last week, Friday, a lot of people got hurt. So I think everyone can kind of pick up on that, is that just people are getting smoked left and right. So I encourage you all to really focus on exactly what the charts are doing, remove emotion, and simply wait for VPA and a little bit of volume. Look what we got over the weekend. Nice McGabagooly. Very cool. Little Cornish cross up there. Beautiful. I love it. We did a practice run yesterday on 3 of our meat chickens, because next week is the harvest weekend. So we harvested 3 of them this past weekend as a test run. Test of process, proving concepts, and it was pretty good. All right, a little bit of a pump up to 8,440 and then down. NASDAQ, about an 80-point pumping up there on NASDAQ. And we are dropping back over. We have a tremendous amount of put selling, call buying. Or I'm sorry, put buying, call selling here at the gate. Buenos dias, Saul. How you doing? It's like the energy been sucked out of the community in the room the past couple of weeks. It's like we were pumping and doing great there with silver and gold, and it's just now it's just blah. It's like everyone's just kind of waiting on edge for the next move here. What's going to change? As every day the market gaps up. 27,500. Oil put on another pump last night, up into the 98 mark. VIX is back to green, still holding 19. We have a very crazy catalyst-packed week this week. Wednesday is going to be a powder keg. We have J-Powell's last FOMC and 4 mega cap earnings, all on Wednesday. So within a 4-hour time period, we will have the rate cut decision, which will be a pause most likely, and then 4 mega cap earnings. So stay tuned for Wednesday. ES put on a massive green, yeah, a 10-point massive green. NASDAQ, it appears to wanting to do the same thing. We will see. Certainly not the best, but gold was doing great last massive high vol news. Could you move next? Big deal move. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So with ES pumping, with them selling a whole bunch of puts, we'll see if NASDAQ is going to join the fun and reclaim the 440 mark. So far, looking like they want to. You know, NASDAQ is, of course, not nearly as strong so far. In fact, NASDAQ is still putting on red candles back lower, while ES is doing that. Very early in the day, of course, and, of course, very early in the week. In terms of news, what do we have today? Absolutely nothing. No news today. So today is straight price action. That's all pre-Iran. Awesome feelings. Since Iran's been less than 5 or 6 trades, likely people are blow uppers. Yeah, that's what's happening here, man. We've made some solid trades, but overall, it's been incredibly difficult to monitor this price action. Incredibly difficult. Today we have no news, so that means we are prone to tweets. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a bunch of bottom wicks here on NASDAQ at the 360 mark. And this is all kind of following this little trend line. We've had this little trend of price action on down. Every single time we have gone lower, there's a high volume spike, indicating we do have some support, although now the price action isn't really corresponding yet. It's very early, but we do have a bunch of bottom wicks. Now we need a higher high if you want to play a possible long position on NASDAQ. Otherwise, you have to remain patient. We need a higher high for them to reclaim that 430 mark. Otherwise, nothing. Microsoft will no longer pay revenue share to OpenAI. More red candles on NASDAQ. Once it breaks, we're going to test out a run, of course, to the low of 345 if it can get it. So, very early in the day. What's up, Noob? How you doing? Good morning. Another green candle. Can we get a higher high for a 3C possibility? So far, no bounce. Someone say trend line. Yeah. ESYM and NASDAQ just can't seem to get on the same page. Yeah. Another sweeping red candle. Looks like NASDAQ is going to absorb and head a little bit lower here with this price action, unless something changes very quickly. The volume is diminishing. We have multiple bottom wicks that are failing. Another top wick down into 360. And if this fails, then it's going to be our next move down to the overnight lows. So bulls better do something, otherwise they're going to fail here. They better put on a higher high. I've done great the last few weeks, but I'm drained. Amount of energy it takes to stay on every little move on the piece is exhausting. Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. I don't know if it's because I've recently hit the big 4-0 or because this market, but I find myself being constantly exhausted. Another red candle coming down here, so it looks like the bears are going to take this thing and move it on down into 344. I need that T. Yes, I do. Here we go. Absorption straight down, baby. Straight down. Can they get a higher high? Oh, bottom wick. That looks like a liquidity sweep off the Kennedy's trend line. Can they get a higher high? I know one of y'all sent me a couple of y'all actually sent me some good websites to gather up some tea. I need to get that. Our friend the VIX is once again holding the 19 level. Yeah. Yeah. VIX does not. Oh, big green. VIX does not want to go down for nothing. Like trying to date a nun. Like ain't nothing gonna happen. Large green candles coming all the way up. Beautiful stuff. 27,402 and moving. There is a higher high. And reclaim the 50% for that matter. $113 million calls sold. Very weak open so far. Leonard, did you see I answered your question? Oh, sweet. You answered my question of answering your question. Beautiful. I think we just opened up some sort of an inception door or something. Try taking vitamin B1. I need some vitamin T. I think is what I need. That's right, Lanner. That's right. Sorry, I had a text I had to respond to. 3 C's, yeah. So coming back up here. Now let's. I want you to take a look at the longer time frame stuff. Now, tier 2, we talked about this at length yesterday, both on the Zoom call and in the Zoom call and the weekly brief. And what are we looking for? Man, ES is launching. What are we looking for to finally get ourselves on board with a possible downtrend? Who remembers from last night? Or if you're tier 1, you didn't hear it. What you got? Yeah, and it requires a lot of patience, of course. It requires a lot of patience. Something we haven't seen yet because they bottom wick everything. ES is straight ripping and a tearing, man. We need volume of spike, of course. Yeah, there you go. So agnostic got it there. So that we need a high volume move. We need top wicks. Ultimately, we want to see a green open, a strong green open, with afternoon red flows that close below the open. That shows that the dealers are now ready to finally start taking a little bit of profit here, and that is a great. If you want a really good one box check item, one line item that can get you swinging possible short positions in the face of a tremendous amount of green, that is the main one. That is the main one. And that'll give you something if you're one of these lizard brains that you need something very concrete and tangible to look at to get you in that position. That is it. I would write that down, and if you see that, then you can finally start to check that box. Afternoon red that takes out and closes below the open. There you go. Possible 7 times. Yeah, so if we have a consolidation period and you want to define that as distribution, then that's what you would want to look for. Several green opens and red afternoons. That'd be beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. A little bit of red candles here. Nice little reds here on NASDAQ and the S&P. NASDAQ is definitely having a little bit harder time than the S&P finding some Momo. But right now we're just trying to get some no Momo. And I just lost my rhythmic. Anyone else has dropped the rhythmic? No, I got it back. I got it back. We're back in cooking. I think I'm back in cooking. I'm just going to restart. What do I reckon? Well, that 430 level that we keep on rejecting is a fantastic supply. It's also roughly 50% of this little overnight pivot range there we have. Not the entire overnight range, but whatever this consolidation we've been entering in. So they keep on hitting into these offers to 27,430, which ultimately should lead to at least another retest of 360. And that, to me, would look like more absorption to start heading lower. You have to start looking for the first target, of course, is 343. That would be the main support, which is the overnight levels, which is pretty likely here if this continues to absorb in this area without any kind of high volume bottom wicks. But then again, we know what's been happening. Every time we even attempt to look for a lower price, we get clobbered like grandma's pie, like grandma's cobbler. Clobbered, cobbler, not clobbered. Anyway, crazy stuff. All right, I'm restarting my rhythmic here. Do y'all see the conspiracy theory with this latest shooter? That some Twitter account from 2023 posted the shooter's name like 3 years ago. It's crazy stuff, man. We live in crazy times. Here comes more red on NASDAQ. We have call selling and no put activity. I'm going to hit refresh because that looks a little odd. That looks a little odd. How's it going, YouTube? What you doing? ES is coming back down. We have 132 million calls sold and 4 million of puts. No, that's not right. We have 130 million of puts purchased and 340 of calls sold, or calls purchased. So the option chain is pretty much non-directive at the moment, although it's starting to head towards bearishness. NASDAQ just dumped over to retest. And I'm really taking a look here at this absorption level. We have this trend line, of course, because that is the current pattern. Every single candle that touches this green line wicks. We now have 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be the 10th attempt to break this trend line and the open. Nah, I have schizophrenia for it, yeah. Coming on down. Coming on down. I took my payout this morning on TakeProfitTrader. It's fantastic stuff, man. And by the end of the week, that'll be in my IBKR, and I'm not sure what to do with it. Because like I said, I'm done allocating into TLT. So I think it's just going to set in cash for now. I'm going to build that balance. Continue to pad the account until I have something coming up. Yeah, SpaceX IPO, 100%. 100%. Buy more guns, absolutely. Every single day, literally, every single day, I struggle with buying more weapons. I need like a Susan Sarandon like infomercial for me. For $5 a day, you can support his gun habit. It's me looking all sad in the camera. In the arms of the angels. Look, another wick off of Kennedy's trend line here, 27,360. Is SMH actually red? I'm shaking my head, man. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. SMH is obviously the semiconductor ETF, and it's been on an absolute historic tear. Look at that. And even more so, if you want to look at the index, look at the socks. I mean, it'll blow your socks off looking at this thing. Finally, the first red candle since March 30th. Green every single day. So, obviously, the semiconductor tech names are going crazy. Another red candles. We're just absorbing in this area. Why divergence between ES and NASDAQ? Is it Microsoft? Energy one is very strong, which is incorporated into the S&P. But, yeah, so look at the RTY. RTY was very, very strong out of the gate, which is going to lead the S&P as well, but now they're starting to come off, and now that they're starting to fail, the ES is going to bleed a little bit here as well. And I do think they're going to breach this lower on some absorption for NASDAQ here. Of course, this is like the 18th time we have come into the support, but if the NASDAQ does absorb in this area, then we are going to have a quick trip down into the overnight low levels. But that's a big ol' if. Big ol' if. Another green candle off this level at 360. Here comes a nice little engulfing red. Keeps on doing it, homie. Keeps on doing it. You have to define your risk versus reward. The reward here is, you know, a big supportive bounce at 345, which is only a couple of points down. The risk is, well, what's happening right now is explosive bounce off of the support. Can we get the 3C? That's right. Wick number 6,299. Yeah. We do have put buying and call selling at the moment. We have sweeping top wicks that appears that the NASDAQ wants to go down. And there's a large red candle. Nice. Nice. And, of course, a breach of the overnight level with, of course, the resulting bottom wick. There you go. Can we start extending? Right now, the price action has been back and forth. The bears have taken control of everything. There's that nice little, I call it the bouncing ball theory. The bouncing ball theory where it goes boing, 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 bleh, and then falls back over. And that's what just happened here. And, of course, we are defending the overnight low position, which is right there. Now that we've taken this out, if we do reclaim back lower, we will be looking for another downside move. But we have a high volume bottom wick. So know where to play your levels at. That's what the corporate jargon low-hanging fruit would be right here. This is where we need to circle back and discuss the low-hanging fruit, setting at the prior overnight low levels. There we go. Bounce right off of it. Maybe a little liquidity sweep, but what do we have here? Look, when you are looking for a short position, when you're in a short position, or if you're looking for a long position, if you see volume like this, you need to sit up in your chair with good posture. No rounding the shoulders, shoulders back. You want to act like you're breaking an egg between your shoulder blades. Bam. High volume, bottom wick, especially at a location like that, overnight low level. And now we have a little bit of a bounce. The 3C will be determined on the 5-minute. right here, which a 3C is still a long way up because this has been a relatively choppy market, but we have a bottom wick where you want. It is at least scalpable to play off these levels. Now, if we reclose it, then you could look for a possibility of a lower low, but don't go front running the first touch yet. It rarely works out for those, especially in these market conditions. Next target is going to be down here to 165. We still have a lot of put buying. One of these days, they're going to give us a 3 or 4% red day. I think we have broken the record. I think it's official. We have broken the record of most days between 3% red closes. There we go, coming off. Nice little red move here. Recapturing. Have we even had a 2%? I think we did have a 2% once, but not a 3%. So it's the longest times in history between 3% red days. That sounds kind of confusing, but coming off nicely. Red candles. Red candles, red candles, red candles. 549. Downtrending, nice. We've recaptured the high volume inflow, which resets that trigger. Oh, didn't want to delete that. And now we are going to look for the next target, which first micro is 230. After that, we're coming down to the 100s. Do we get a final downtrend day? Extraordinary. 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 What y'all think, YouTube? Anyone on YouTube have a good weekend? What'd you do? Anything good trades coming on? Thank you. All right, 306 still dropping nicely. Still dropping nicely. You're simply just following the levels here. Took Friday off. Good advice. There you go. I know it's not easy to do, but I remember when you have a day like you did and you need to take a nice day off or relax a little bit, come back refreshed. I like the other one better. All right, top wicking still 306. Now we're looking for 230. And then after that is in the 100s if they hold it without a volume spike. Without a volume spike. Went to the game last night. It was epic. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. A Long Island, New York woman faces 25 years in prison for throwing a stick of dynamite at her boyfriend while he slept. He blew his hand off. Interesting. Hate to be that guy. All right, bottom wick, back up. She's stable, yeah. So still on the 5-minute chart, unfortunately, all we have is bottom wicks. Every time the sellers make an attempt, the buyers hammer it. So nothing's changed yet. It's still the same thing. And if we recapture that overnight low level, then... Ooh, look at the call buying. Look at the call buying here. Tremendous amount of calls being purchased. Coming up. Watch them rip it. Calls are saying that's exactly what they're going to do. Puts are being sold, calls are being bought, and right now this thing is ripping. Ripping. They still have time to close this stuff green. Still going. Wow, look at that. I lost track of a great prop firm testimony. Mentioned losing tens of thousands on a prop evals. It just was he lost chasing payouts and passing evals instead of a system. He said with props, you really don't want to trade daily. Only set up when trade presents itself and play it there. 100%. Abso-freaking-lutely. That adage right there is what kept me safe the past month and a half. Doing less. 100%. I was born into the prop firm darkness. We have call buying and put selling straight up. Straight up. We also have a 3C here. If we claim over the 382, then we're going to play up to 3434. Obviously, this has been back and forth. It's crazy. Intel's crazy. I feel like banging, yeah. About to have me another Nvidia stock? Heck yeah, man. So we have this 3C is about to close. If it does, then we can make the look back up. Obviously, this session is very wicky and back and forth. There's your 50%. It's already cleared that. It was the first account I actually believe when he's posting 3 to 12 minute payout. No, not daily like other 20 jabronis. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Well, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Still going. We have a tremendous amount of call buying. Surprise, surprise. Almost $1 billion. 960 million of calls. And then 160 million of puts sold. So they just tore into the 0DT calls there. Even on all that downside, it was incredibly difficult to even consider a short position because everything was just so wicked. I mean, it was just wicked and wicked and wicked. You had to be very precise with short entries there because it's just being plowed. Everything is bottom wicked. Agriculture sector is collapsing right now in the United States. Farm bankruptcies are up 46%. There's only 1.8 million farms in America. It's the lowest in over 140 years. 70% of farmers says they cannot feed their fields this season due to extraordinarily high fertilizer costs. Oh, that should bring the S&P to 20,000. Fantastic. What could go wrong? 100%. That's the problem we're having in our neck of the woods. All the tobacco farms, cornfields, cotton farms, soybean farms are all gone. They're all now apartment complexes. Apartment complexes. Yeah, cotton farm. You ever seen a cotton farm? It's fantastic, man. Corn, everything. We got a lot down in my neck of the woods. I think ES wants to touch all-time highs during regular trading hours to see if we have buyers. Not a bad idea. Bill Gates will feed us. Heck yeah, man. I love that glued meat. What's up, YouTube? Everyone's quiet on YouTube today. That is a 100-point bounce on NASDAQ with over 1 billion calls purchased right there. And there's not really much else to do except recapture 27,434. The S&P is, of course, already about to do that. And then they'll reattack 7209. Can't believe I'm saying 7,000 for the S&P. It's crazy. It's crazy. You will eat your daily manufactured tofu print. Oh man, yeah, we're headed to some very crazy times, man. passing the bill where all new vehicles has to have AI monitoring you as a driver and the ability to shut off your car remotely required. Oh man, it's terrible. Exactly, Pastor. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let's go take a look. I haven't even looked at silver and gold this morning. I've heard about that Magabagouli. That's crazy, man. It's scary. I don't know if it's because weather's getting a lot warmer. We had a very, very warm. That's 2 winters in a row that's extremely warm. With the exception of that 1 week where we had the ice storm, it was a very warm winter. All right, silver's put on a high volume top wick here at 75, which is a retest of their prior open. Gold is defending their 4,700, but cannot make an extension higher. Heck yeah, man. At least them chickens. Soylent Green. NASDAQ bottom looking again. I'm telling you, man. Very difficult to short this market without what we talked about this morning. Can you please explain in a little more detail the swing concept you talked about earlier? Yes. So, if you are on longer time frames, let's say a 4-hour, 60-minute chart would work fine for this particular theory, and you're looking to counter, let's say that at this point you are no longer bullish and you are looking for a pullback, you cannot begin to engage in short positions until you have green opens and then red afternoons. And then the more the better. So on the 60-minute chart, it'll start to look like something like this here, this session, without this. So you would need that green to stay down and close down somewhere down at the bottom of the range. You don't need, if buyers respond, then that does not count. You need an afternoon session that's completely controlled by the sellers to close under the open and stay down. Otherwise, the buyers are still going to be intact there. If you see a couple of those begin to form, then you know that the macro trend change is imminent, and it's time to start placing yourself into some protection modes or swing positions or whatever. You can either actively trade or you can just deleverage your long deltas, whichever you see fit for your system. Warm weather, not in New Hampshire. Really? Yeah, it was crazy here, man. In fact, the last freeze we had was mid-February. I could have planted my tomatoes in mid-February, and they would have been fine. They would have been just fine, surviving. That's how warm it's been. It's crazy. All right, 392 here on NASDAQ. It's time for NASDAQ to start the daily rockets. Are you? Yeah, I mean, it appears so. I mean, right now, so far, it's the same exact day as what we've been seeing. A little bit of red open and then green rocket launch. So, yeah. It's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. Gold is still defending. Silver is bottom wick and then a top wick at 75.53. Nasdaq is here. Good morning. I took advantage of the pre-market bounce on oil, so no more trades for me today. Got to listen to the stream and learn some knowledge. Oh, nice, Jonathan. Appreciate you, buddy. You're welcome. Where am I in the country? I am in Alaska. It's a beautiful state. Not one day above 20 in February. Really? I mean, yeah, I saw that. I know, like the East Coast, the northeast coast got battered with some storms that was completely taboo to us. We had one really bad ice storm in January, but that was it. Like for a week, that was it. Everything else was beautiful. It's crazy how different things be in different parts of the country. All right, so we are still defending this area here. I don't even want to consider shorting. I'll be honest with you. We had some decent little movement. Even then, it was heavily wicked. I don't even want to consider shorts here unless there's a dang good reason to do it. So, you went to Brazil for a month? Nice. Brazil. Heck yeah, man. Japan's 10-year Treasury yield hits the highest level since '97. It continues to go up. I feel like every day we hear that post. Japan's 10-year yield as high as it's ever been. It's for like 3 years straight. It's been a wiki session. It's been very wiki. It's been very wiki. So, Spot Gamma talked about that the options chain is underpricing volatility this week. That there's a whole bunch of volatility coming on. That the VIX is still holding on to 19. We have, of course, Wednesday. We have a bunch of other earnings as well. But yet, the options pricing is not positioning for that move, for a big move. So, the issue with that is that if we do get a big move, that move becomes extended very quickly. Whereas if the market is positioned for a big move, then you get a lot of pullbacks, you get a lot of bounces, you get a lot of rejections, you get a lot of IV crush as positions come off after the unknown event becomes known. But when the market is underpriced for that when a move does kick off, if it does kick off, the moves become extended because now the dealers have to chase to hedge themselves for the event instead of the other way around. So conditions are set up here for a nice move. If we can get something shaken and baking, what happens if all four mega caps post a huge red miss, which they won't. We know they won't. They never miss. But if they do, maybe it kicks off an outlier event. Maybe we'll finally get our 3% day. I don't know. But just saying the conditions are there. Coinbase just introduced 24/7 futures trading for ETH and Bitcoin. Get wrecked. Yeah, don't do that. Enjoy your Saturdays and Sundays. Don't trade on Saturdays and Sundays. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy your weekends. Here's Hero for you. 705 million calls, 41 million puts. Right there. Still coming down. 27,357. A little bit. That's about a 70-point drop. Very slow, but very wicky. There's not a lot of high confidence stuff here. So far, there's nothing really worth FOMOing about. If you're going to FOMO, then FOMO over something worthwhile. Oil, high volume bottom wick. And they do have a 3C building right now. If oil can hold 95.74, then you can look to play oil up to 96.50 after that high volume bottom wick. Can they do it? It's still going. Oil at 200 might make this market go down. Maybe. Google looks like it falls into the 3 Cs. Let's take a look at Google. There's no volume. So, yes, possibly. We do have a nice top wick here. If we can get over the lower low, you could begin to play something. We have a very small volume spike there. It doesn't mean we can't go down without volume. I'm just saying about confidence. So from here, if we close under, this 348, we might be ready for a pullback to at least 347, if not more. NASDAQ and ES are just both kind of bouncing back and forth. There's another bottom wick on NASDAQ right there. What are the 3 Cs? Great question. 3 Cs is my trading system that stands for 3 criteria. The 3 criteria are the mechanisms on which I identify volume price analysis setups. Volume is the first criteria, so I look for volume inflow. The wick of the price action is the second criteria, and then the follow-through is the third criteria. That helps me gauge when the market's going to bounce or continue, or reject and continue if you're looking for a possible short. I have a bunch of videos, actually 4 videos on the system if you want to go through the YouTube channel and take a watch. All free, of course. Bounce back up. Should have locked out my account last night. Made more than my daily goal just to give it back this morning. Yeah, I know how you feel, man. Daily goal met shutting down platforms. Nice, Damien. Well done on the goal and the wife coming home. Good stuff. Do you still count 27,343 as significant? That is the overnight low level, so obviously that is still having offering there. We have a bottom wick there. We have, of course, the defense that's holding above it, and then we have this one here, so that's still important. It's just not going to be as significant as the first breach. If you can't even get above 120 on oil, what's it going to be like to take to do it? I have no idea, man. I know there's a lot of theory about, of course, the strait remaining closed, and then the lagging effects of the strait being closed starting to spread, kind of like ripples in a wave throughout the world. And some people saying it's going to be the worst energy crisis we've ever seen. I don't know. Oil is confirming the 3C, and we are watching the markets and oil go up at the same time here. But yeah. Most miserable experience. Hold on, what we got here? The most miserable experience I had was in 21, early 23 before listening. Trading off stream on weekends for crypto swaps plus options during the week. It was miserable. I'd be at a family pool party and prop my phone up on a chair to monitor trades. It was pretty detrimental to everyone involved. Yep. Never present. Truth left my girl for the past. The way she did, I took her business 23. Yeah. Said you suddenly clicked. Heck yeah, man. And now it, you learned your lesson, but that monitoring your phone and monitoring your chart all day, every day for trades and setups is absolutely exhausting. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I don't care how successful you are at trading. It's not worth it. That is not freedom. Do I have a course? No, I don't sell a course. I don't have a course, although I do have a Discord. Discord right now is $25 per month, so it's pretty low cost. Gets you a great trading-related community, like-minded individuals. We do additional streams than what you see here too. But no, I do not sell the course. So the 5-minute volume is the key. Well, the 5-minute is the shortest amount of the shortest time frame you'd want to confirm price action on. Now you can apply these theories to any time frame, all the way up to the weekly, daily, monthly. And then of course you want to apply that for what you want to do. So if you want to take swing trades, you want to confirm on higher time frames. If you want to take scalps, you confirm on the 5-minute. So anything on Bookmap? Not really, no. Pretty lame right now. Nasdaq is coming back off. Oil is setting up nicely. Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff. Nice little 3C confirmed on oil. Love to see it. Love to see it. That's why it's good to just have your long-term portfolio set up nicely and trade as needed. Absolutely. Completely agree. Another top wick. How the heck is Damien seeing setups in this chop? I don't know. Well, he made some money though, man. There's always, you know, doesn't matter the setup. In the hardest of conditions, there's always somebody killing it. In the easiest conditions, there's always someone getting killed. That's just the way trading is, man. There's always someone. Two things I'd love to know the answer to. How is diesel now higher than the price of gas? And why did Texas just break the all-time record for diesel price at the pump with the current oil prices being average? Something's not being shared with us. That I don't know the answer to. Made a little bit of money, now time for range day at work. Y'all have fun. Range day? What do you do for work? That sounds interesting. I want to come on the range. You're either a golfer or something related to firearms. So, are you a professional golfer? That'd be pretty cool. How do you position yourself in an absorption trade? I don't want to enter close to the bottom if we're absorbing lower. Do you have a lesson on it at all? Yeah, so law enforcement. Come apply. Nice. Yeah, our city's giving away like $25,000 signing bonuses for law enforcement. Yeah, so if you're looking for absorption, that is more of an experience feel thing to play without necessarily a 3C. That's a difficult one to play because you are betting on the continuation of price action, which is not easy to do. So it really depends. I'm watching the volume. If price action, let's say price action is dropping and you want to take a short thinking that we're going to drop down into support, absorb, and go lower. First of all, you cannot have a volume spike. If price action drops into a support, my eyes are glued to the volume. If we have no volume and we have that little look where, kind of like what we did this morning, kind of what we did here, is where price action absorbed, kept falling, and then we finally breached. That's something like what we'd want to see, but we don't want to see any volume. Don't do it. Soul-sucking job. Paying pensions are great. There you go. Does anyone else here have a job like I do? Because I'm listening while I work. Yeah, there's a lot of people that that do exactly what you do. Pretty much, probably everybody is working while they listen in or trade and stuff. As long as you don't see volume spikes, you're comfortable entering at the lows. Well, not always. That's not a blanket. That's not a blanket statement. So there's a lot of analysis that's going into that. Playing breakouts or breakdowns are usually not a great idea. So there has to be a very certain criteria that I need to see, and that's experience driven. Like if price action is dropping into support, there needs to be a dang good reason for one to get me to short after the price action has already fallen into a level. That's called short in the hole. So the number one criteria there is volume. If we're not seeing any volume spikes, then that's usually signs of a continuation. If we're not seeing any bottom wicks, or at least a bottom wick that closes higher, that's a sign of continuation. Now, there's most likely going to be some sort of very small wick off of it, even if we don't bounce. So, of course, you have to play position sizing and just be patient. Now, I always go back to what Anna Colling said. Anna Colling said in her book that she found that early on in her trading career, if she just pumped the brakes for 10 minutes, her trades would have been phenomenally better because she was always rushing entry. She'd get FOMO. Oh, I can't miss this. Boom, enter, and then she would get tripped out, stopped out. Or she'd have to just fight and scrap for profit instead of just taking a nice easy trade. If she would have just waited 10 minutes, she'd have got an optimum entry. So, if you're trying to short the hole like that, most of the time it's not a great thing to do. It means you've missed the trade, although sometimes it's good to do it. But usually most of the time I like to play the retests where, if we're talking about this green line at support, I like to play the breach below, come back up, reject, and come back down, and I want to enter here, not here, most of the time. And then, Corey, that's just in theory. Good questions, though. I like it. That's good stuff. Listen while I work. I get paid to go to gun range. Yeah. For your trust, do you share it with the other family? Would you recommend that or keep it solely to your family? You talking about like my other family as in other than my wife and kids? All my family's dead. So for me, I don't have any family. I do have a brother, but that's it. He's the only, like all my aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents are all dead. Nothing. It makes holidays pretty easy though. No, it's fine. My wife's family though, no. To answer your question, no. All of everything with my trust is involved with my current, just my immediate family. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I do not shoot anymore. Bad experience for the military. Have not got used guns in 40 years. Here comes a sweep lower to bounce at 500 points. Well, maybe. Maybe. Man, what a beautiful 3C on oil there. That was extraordinary. Textbook 3C on oil that did not even give you fear of failure there. Good stuff. Whereas NASDAQ is just dead tight. Riding the bull until it shows otherwise. That's a smart move, J-Dog. That's a smart move, homie. A little bit of red here. A little bit of red here. Didn't notice it was 5-0. How long you been a police officer, Pablo? Steve? Oh, that's a bottom mix on the 15. Yeah. Oil, of course, has been the best. That's been the cleanest move of the day so far. Silver is not really setting up for anything where gold is right now. We keep having volume spikes, but it keeps on just kind of sticking. And if it breaks this, the risk is 46.94, whereas NASDAQ is just chilling like a villain. This appears to be on the 5-minute an absorption pattern for lower, but we all know how I feel about shorts right now. So, good morning, OM. What's up, David? How you doing? I used to watch your streams back in 2021. It just popped up on my feed out of the blue. Good to hear your voice again. I've been enjoying your broadcast this morning. Thanks, David. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome back. I appreciate you hanging out with us once again. It's been 5 years since you've been here. Man, have we been doing this that long? Whew. Yeah, we just passed the 5-year mark in the server. It's crazy stuff. I appreciate you tuning back in. It's good stuff, man. About 8 years. Nice. Well done. Yeah, we have a lot of military and law enforcement in the server. It's good stuff. Still down. So far, price action is pretty tight. Remember, we have no news today. It's only been an hour since the market's been open. Is that true? Holy smokes, the market's only been open for an hour. I feel like it's been open for 4. Have I been stuck in like a time continuum? I ask every cop I meet when I drive around with a CCW, do I present as having a weapon or no? I don't know the official answer to that, Phil, but doing that has got me out of more tickets than I've gotten. So, If I get pulled over, the first thing I say, I interrupt him. Like, hey man, just want to let you know I do have a weapon in the vehicle. He's like, hey, where is it at? And I tell him where it is. And he goes, all right, as long as you don't make a quick move toward it, we ain't got a problem. And then he's like, all right. He gives me a warning, and off we go. Off we go. Hey, a little bit of red candles here. I've carried a weapon with me every day for the past 20 years. Never had an issue. Do you show them where it is? As quickly as possible, I reach for it and show them where it is. Yeah, usually it works out pretty good. All right, we have put buying and call selling here at the moment. We have a nice little red candle absorption under 344, which should get us down to 303. But we'll see. It does look like absorption, but like I said, I'm not crazy about short positions on this session. It's just real slow. Always let law enforcement know you have a weapon. Yeah, they appreciate it too. They appreciate it. Lets them know they're safe. All right, coming off here, 337. Is 96.50 a good CL resistance? Yes. Right here, and it's coming right through it. If we get through that, up we go. So far, oil is the setup of the day. Beautiful 3C long trigger on CL. Without a single point of contention, it's been straight up. Nice, Nancy, well done. Pretty much what I'm said. It's a nice gesture and appreciate it. My experience, CCW holders are the most respectful people I've met, 100%. I just tell them, you don't touch yours, and I won't touch mine. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, coming down here. First time in MCL. Really? Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oil is coming, or NASDAQ is coming down nicely. Nice little green. Just imagine if you did a little better on the entry exam, you could have been a Oh, I love a little interdepartment chatter. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Reminds me of the time we had a incoming unit commander for our unit, and he was prior Marines. So at his party, like the post-ceremony party, we put out like a formal place setting. You know, the plate, the whole setting, and on the plate we put crayons. It's fantastic. We got a good laugh out of it. All right, 27,350. Bounce back up. Man, this thing is slow. We do have a high volume spike. That's the third highest volume candle of the day on the 1030 candle for ES. And that occurred at a supported 7185.5, so you need to note that level. NASDAQ put on, it's about the fourth or fifth highest volume spike. Nothing crazy, but definitely high volume right here. Of course it bounces. Market never ever go down. Yeah. Well, this is where I want, obviously we talk about the same thing every day here, but I want you all to have your eyes glued to the bottom. Like, this is such an important indicator, and it's free. It's free, and it's the best indicator out there. Think about that. The best indicator in trading is the first one that you see, and it's free. It's like it's like the first one you see. It's like a newborn, and you always come back to it. It's like your mom. Your mom's the first person you see. Actually, the doctor's the first person you see, technically. But you get what I'm trying to say here. And then when you reach a teenager, you think you don't need your mom anymore because you know everything, and you go off and you realize when you're older you do need your mom. That's what volume is. It's the first indicator on your chart that's completely free, and it's the best one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at this green. 400. 400. When you see a volume spike, you have to alert bells need to go off in your mind if you're short. Coming down into support like that. No bueno. That's why most people don't use volume, because they think it's free. It's already what they don't need it because it's too simple. I think there's a business theory in that. That's why you don't give away products for free, because people don't value it. I don't know what that was. It was definitely a green move there. Are you surprised though? Are you surprised? Do you know any prop firm that offers options? I believe there is. Somebody was talking about it last week. High volume spike. There is a prop firm that offers options. I forget what it was though. I personally don't use one. I use TakeProfitTrader. In my opinion, TakeProfitTrader is the best out there in terms of futures, but they do not offer options. That's just nuts. What does anything mean now? That is a high volume spike right there. ES put on the third highest volume spike of the day. Bottom wick to top wick back down. We have 1.1 billion calls purchased and a tremendous amount of movement. It's still holding the trend line. If you have this little trend line here, I'm sure you see exactly what price action is trying to do. This is now the second trend line we have respected today, and so far it's working pretty well. Almost too well, actually. We are now trapped between the overnight low level and this little trend line. Compression, people. Compression. Well, Vanquish Trader for options, daily payouts. Nice, there you go. Never heard of it. I need to check that out. I don't even know how they would do that. I don't like it. I'm just going to chill. Yeah. No me gusta. Top wick back down. Barcode this week until max 7 FOMC. Yeah. Nasdaq feels better if gold. There you go. All right. I need to mute for a second. I'll be back in a minute or so. All right, I'm back. Ended up blowing a 50k eval with this price. I should have locked it up tight. Well, that reminds me. I want to let me make a comment about that, and I'm not not you specifically, but it spurred a thought. Traders normally don't get blown up during trends, although this one might be a little bit of an outlier because this was extended and people probably try to short it too early and whatever. Anyway, normally traders get clapped in the transition between trends. So when this starts to turn into a downside price action, the consolidation between the two is where traders typically start to lose. So if you've been doing well in this straight up green price action and all of a sudden you start to take losses, I need you to start to tune into that quickly. And the sooner you tune into that, the more stress you can avoid. And just look at the price action from a long standpoint. Start doing some higher time frame analysis and determine, okay, the reason why I'm starting to take losses is because the market is no longer blasting like it was, and I'm not getting away with maybe less than optimum long entries. You could have taken sloppy long entries the past 28 days and gotten away with it. And when that starts to change is when usually traders start to feel the pain, and we start transitioning into a sell the market instead of a buy the market environment. So be aware of that. The sooner you are aware of that, the better. What's up, Davos? DeBoss likes pie. I'm in college right now, but I graduate in August. I've been on and off trading, mostly futures, over the last few years. I have a job set up to go into, and I won't have time to sit and watch futures. Do you suggest getting into swing options is more of a passive thing? Well, of course, you could still scalp options and do that stuff, or you'd have to do it pre-market, or you can go take a restroom break and bring your phone in there and sit on the toilet for an hour and a half and trade futures on your phone. But yes, the only option from that is to do only swing trades and long-term investing, which means swinging options. You could swing futures, stuff like that. So yeah, which swing trading is very lucrative. It's very lucrative. Swing trading is more lucrative than scalping and day trading. It's just you have to be more patient. And I would not encourage you to do multiple swing trades. I read this one thing from a very high-level trader, and he says, get this, he's a hedge fund trader. He said that if he takes more than 4 trades a year, he considers overtrading and he's lost his edge. Think about that. If he takes more than 4 trades in a year, he is overtrading. You take 4 trades before breakfast. So, because swing trading is incredibly lucrative if you can be patient enough for those pop off the chart setups. So yeah, do it. Swing trade. Absolutely. Another bottom wick. This looks like it's going up. Stop monitoring my screen. Leave Brittany alone. Leave her alone. I take 4 a day, and my tax guy hates me for it. Yeah. $1.1 billion in calls purchased. I had 7 swing trades last year and made more than all my scalps combined. Yep. One good swing trade for me can undo a whole bunch of day trading. So, 100%. I'm on the fence about streaming FOMC on Wednesday. What do y'all think? I know what's going to happen if I don't stream it, but I know what's going to happen if I do stream it. Top looking back over. In the past 5 years, I've only missed one single stream on FOMC, and the market dropped like 1,100 points. Say you won't do it in the 15 seconds before I go. Are you saying I need to play mental gymnastics with the market? Yeah. got spies in the Discord. That's right. That is me. That is me. Dan's always posting pictures of me. What is happening on Wednesday? There's a lot happening on Wednesday. We have four. Well, first is FOMC. So at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, they're going to post the rate decision for FOMC, which most likely will be a pause. In fact, let me go take a look at the odds right now. As according to CME Group, which is obviously an important group, right now, I've never seen that before. April 29th, 2026. Right now, there's a 100% probability that we pause tomorrow on Wednesday. 100%. It's also Jay Powell's last FOMC, so I'm sure he'll be asking a lot of pointed questions. And now that the investigation has been dropped for the $2 billion renovation of a small office building, that he will no longer be considered an interim, and he'll go about he'll be put out to pasture here in a couple of weeks, and then what's his name will be brought in. At 2:30, he'll begin his press conference, which is usually volatility starts to pick up, and then right after the bell, we have 4 of the mega cap earnings reportings. So between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to get a whole bunch of volatility. If you love trading volatility, then I'd recommend doing nothing until Wednesday afternoon. Somebody said that Top Step is worse than Epstein. It's hilarious. You're welcome, Raphael. I actually prefer Donatello, but Raphael's good too. Leonardo all day? Heck yeah, man. Come to Colorado, I'll get you a ride along. Let you drive the Mustang. Oh, man. Was every kid's favorite Donatello? I don't know. Maybe. Leonardo, yeah. So we're still following the trend line here. I am not a trend line trader, obviously. But we have a high volume spike that occurred at 1036 on whatever that price action was. And now the dealers cannot climb over it. We have top wicks galore. We're going to see what we can do. The bulls are still hitting this thing up and away. What can they do? What's the 3C here for a short position if you wanted to consider that? You need under 357. 357. Speaking of which, did you know you can fire a .38 special in a rifle chamber for 357? You know now. I think the bulls are about to hit this. I think the bulls are about to hit this and go for a ride. 1.1 billion in calls purchased. And I think the bulls are about to hit this thing. Maybe not. Maybe. Top wick. Sweeping top wick off Kennedy's trend line. I think that's what our friends down south would call muy interesante. What that is. Sweeping top wick red. Interesting. Wow. may have to chill for a week or so. This kind of action is depressing. I monitor what I think makes some kind of sense, and the market believes in a crazy way. Dealer delta is uber bearish. Is it? I always chuckle when I see your stuff, Disciple, because I don't see it. I don't see it. It's like, how can two people monitoring option chains analytics come up with like two different data points? Why is my screen not working here? It always makes me double check everything. This page is not responding. Maybe that's why it shows bullish. It's not responding. What do we have here? Ooh, no, you're right. Never mind. I recant my statement. Nope, I unrecant my statement. What's going on here? My screen is not updating. I have 1.05 billion calls purchased. We have 64 million in puts, and the puts haven't really moved all day. Let me take a look at the trace before I start flapping my gums here. Flapping my gums. 71.75 SPX is current strike. That's the main strike, which is 20 points higher. We have another top wick off Kennedy's trend line. So, who's going to win here? Who's going to win here? What's the chart I have on the left? That is Spot Gamma. Hero Tool, H-I-R-O. This is where I track 0 DTE options analytics. This will tell me where the options chain is moving on the 0 DTE scale in the view of the dealers, from the perspective of the dealers, the big dogs who let the dogs out. Nearly all chambering selections are multi-caliber. Comments on their e-scavenge trade if necessary. Oh, nice. Nice. Took a short on MNQ, small position. Beautiful AR. Well done. GC failed too. What about my oil? Yeah, oil kept on going, baby, after the initial rejection. I didn't survive the big rejection, but kept on going. Beautiful 3C on silver, on oil, man. That was fantastic. So, NASDAQ is still holding here. They keep on rejecting the trend line. Getting a little windy out there today. A little windy. Oh, yeah. What time is it? 5 minutes till the top of the hour. We have another bottom wick on NASDAQ. Still top wicking. What are we doing here? Still coming down. The call pliers get trapped. They are starting to come off a little bit, but still, it's very long delta on the 0 DT calls here. They popped it just above the 3C confirmation right at the end of the last 5 minutes. They know something. Yeah. Well, things are pretty tight here. You know, the 5-minute chart here is very difficult to confirm 3C entries here. It's just back and forth, back and forth. You know it's bad, Palm Beach Den, when I have to ask if that is AI or real. Oh, man. Bottom wick still at 344. Do you still stream daily on Discord? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Every single day. Haven't missed a day in 5 years. At least I haven't missed an unscheduled day in 5 years. Been doing it every day, baby. Love it. Gonna keep my quota challenging now. Thanks, for nice, Mark. Appreciate you, buddy. Well done on shutting it down. I prefer to think Ken Griffin is in the stream and punching in whatever direction hurts us specifically. Yeah, well, patience. Patience. It's like a game of chicken. How long can you wait to take a trade until you see a high confidence move? Man, this is tight. I'll take a look, Pierre. Appreciate you, buddy. No way it's going to do this until Wednesday. It's going to rip one way or another. I always ask myself when I'm undecided is what move could they do to screw over the most amount of people? So, I'm going to have to delay my 30th day for the challenge today. There you go. There you go. As long as you're putting on good quality trades, no micro transactions. Quick scalps. Amounts dealers need to sell before balance deltas on books currently. There you go. Coming up, 27,380. 380. So far, nothing really of high confidence. I need to get Kennedy in here to see if he's can see what's going to happen here. What do y'all think, up or down from here? Who thinks up? Who thinks down? Where's it go? It appears it wants to absorb and go lower, but you never know. You never know. This is very, it's a constricting pattern here. This is the pattern, which is a sideways pennant. And it's all it is. It shows compression. Who thinks both? Yeah, I could do both. So, it's crazy stuff. Up, down, down, up, down, left, right, A, B, start. Right here. Oh, man. This is... Man, look at oil. Oil is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Which way does it go? Which way does it go? We are also coming up on London close. Hey, large red. Nice red. Look at that. Nice. How far does it go? Who picked down? Who picked down? Nice. We need to get under this little thing. I'm at a short, but looking at YM is took the 4-hour low. Is there a headline y'all are waiting on? No, there's no headline. Not today, at least. At least not any planned headlines. I heard when a new Fed gets appointed, market tends to correct like 10%. Is this true? I don't know. I think everyone can assume that we are going to have some nice little, I guess, corrective price action. I'm cautious to use the word correction, but corrective price action. But, you know, of course, you need volume. That's the whole thing. Timing is of the essence. Still coming down. Still coming down. Calls are being sold ever so gently, but so are puts. This is very slow behavior. But the bears are taking it. ES dumped back over by about 10 points. But there's another green candle to hold the range. Tightest session we've had in I don't know how long. Actually, I do know how long. 29 days. So, yeah. Still coming up. Nice little green move back up. CL is coming back down. Silver's bouncing. What's RTY doing? RTY is doing the same thing, bouncing back up. Gold got wrecked all the way down. ES is here. The top wick. little bit of red. Another top wick on a yes. The bears are at risk here. They are selling calls. The bears are at risk. Of course, we have a lot of supportive behavior at 300, 310, 300. But you got to be patient. Overall, we're not missing. Ooh, big green. Overall, we're not missing all that much. It's just back and forth. Look at that. Green right on back up. Nothing here. Nothing here. That is a double bottom wick off of 335 on NASDAQ. And there's a move up, 360 and going. What are we going to do, I wonder? I wonder. Oh, massive green on NASDAQ. Still going. I wonder what they're going to do here. So far, the bulls are holding it. We are 20 minutes away from London close, as NASDAQ is now rocketing back up. Look at that. Volume spike on this candle. Crazy stuff, man. Who are we still thinking down? What do you think? Another red, but the bulls are holding on just fine. 360, 370, another bottom wick. Red candle bottom wicked, and now we're off for the races. Oh, man. 358. A little bit of red coming back down. Interesting. Another top wick. Nice little top wick back down, 350. I feel like I'm just calling out wicks at this point. Scalping wicks. We do have a high volume top wick though. That is the third highest volume candle of the day right here on whatever little move that is at 364. So we do have some supply sitting at 360 with a high volume move. Of course, extremely tight price action, and we need some correlation there. But that is a high volume top wick. So now we need under 350, let's call it 351, to give us a 3C. And 3Cs will get us down to 330. And if we can get 330 for a fourth time, we then might finally have a move outside of the range. So we will see. There we go. Beautiful sweeping top wick. Can we get the 3C move? Right here. There we go. There we go. You see the volume? Do you see the volume? The volume is like, you know, when you're walking around a foreign country, you don't know how to speak the language. But when you notice volume, it's like picking up your AI-generated translator on your phone, and all of a sudden, you understand everything. ¿Cómo te llama? Me llamo es Andrew. Gracias. Mucho gusto. All right, y'all. 15 minutes. What you think? That would be nice, disciple. That would be nice. More red. Having a very difficult time breaching this, but I think once it does, I mean, I think the bears might finally be able to take control of something. Absorption. We have a high volume top wick here, but we have no follow through. Can I look at gold? Of course I can look at gold. Ooh. Doesn't matter if it goes up or down as long as everybody has fun. I wish the market paid out in fun. I made 3 fun credits today. Called fun coupons. Alright, so we have a high volume bottom wick on gold. We have almost a 3C if it can close right here. You did pay us for fun tax? Yeah, really. Heck yeah, man. Fun coupons. I wonder if he actually said that, or if that scene was completely fabricated. That's pretty epic if he actually did do that in real life. I'm scared to short, but we all know it's due for at least a pullback. Well, position sizing, homie. Never put on a position that can wreck you. You know what happens when you wreck yourself. Still coming off. Yeah, so gold has a possible 3C here. We need to close over 4688.3. If we can get a close over that, we can have a move up. And that is a highly, highly actionable bottom wick. But we got to close it. If it did go, I would look for this. I would target at least that imbalance. And I would set my stop below the low. So right there, that's the trade I would put on for gold if it can close. Interesting. So today I learned that Hubei province in China is ecologically and geographically very similar to North Carolina. They have the same climate, the same types of trees, the same geography, and the same topography. Did not know that. God, with copy and paste. Anybody in China, can they confirm? I've seen some former workers say that the depiction of Stratton and the Wolf of Wall Street is just the tip of the iceberg of what they did there and how crazy things got. Really? That's insane. I can't imagine it being crazier than that. North Georgia has the same climate as Italy's wine country. Really? I always thought that it was Napa. Bottom wick on NASDAQ. We have London close here. And another defense of this level. No follow through whatsoever. The most grueling thing for this market to accomplish right now is to pin this flat until Wednesday. Get everyone keep on trying to buy the dip, and get everyone still trying to short, and it does neither of those. You get nothing, and you'll like it. And then it pins flat into Wednesday afternoon, and then puts on a large green move, and then on Thursday morning, you absolutely crash the market. That would smoke everybody. That would smoke grandma, grandpa, your auntie. It'd smoke your grandkids. It'd smoke everybody. You think you just called it? Yeah. I think you should create a hotkey today for bottom wick Nasdaq. Gonna kill your voice. Yeah, really. Tell me about it. Today's the day for an OM sign off dump. Yeah. Read Gavin Mensis. He has 4 books starting with 1423. He explains how the Chinese tried to map the globe and brought all sorts of plants and animals from China to America. Is that why, like, everything that's invasive in America is Asian? Like, plant-wise, I mean? Don't read too much into that comment. Like, all the insects and plants that are invasive all come from Asia. Asian carp. 20-point Nasdaq top wick, yeah. The blight that killed out all the beautiful chestnut trees, Asian. Top wick here. So we have another top wick. They are selling the crap out of puts, though. Many DNA tests have done active Native Americans. Most of them have Chinese DNA. Really? I've never heard of that. Interesting. Another red candle. What is going to happen? Anyone seen how Peruvians straight up look Chinese? I'll have to take a look. Chinese methods in their crafts, paints, and languages. Interesting. Iran has 11 tons, spelt the European way, of enriched uranium in storage. Florida has now voted to abolish all property tax. And in those news, people, I'm going to need a couple of days of no streaming so I can pack up my crap and move to Florida. Florida is now becoming the most American state in the country. I love it. Top wicks. There are homes here in Florida. I thought everything was an HOA. Oh, man. No income tax, no property tax, sales tax is back to suck. Yeah, but I'm okay. You know, if a state needs to run to gather revenue through tax, I'm okay with a consumption tax. Then you get to choose. The more you consume, the more tax you pay. The less you consume, the less tax you pay. Within reason, of course. I'm sure it'll all be abused, just like everything with the government. You know, all roads to hell are paved with good intentions. They are selling a lot of puts. Puts are straight up, calls are straight down. So this is an option seller's day today, an iron condor day. And we are creeping slow, slow, slow. 9 minutes until the end of the session here, going into London. There we go, breaking lower. All right, we have our first attempt of breach at 322. And then after that, 297. Remember, on a day like today, you have to turn back your expectations. This is a very hard day to play these 200-point moves we've been seeing because things are so tight. And position size accordingly. Nice, nice move. First attempt to breach 320. Now we're starting to come off nicely. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Don't you get an ag exemption? I'll pay residential tax on 1 acre. I do. I don't pay very much tax at all on my 50 acres. Plus, with my VA rating, I get a break on taxes, property taxes. Still sitting in the MNQ short, but YM was the play, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Coming off here, we're looking for 298 after finally taking out the 320 and rolling back over on a nice little move. Whole bunch of put selling and call selling, both sides of the tape, both of them coming down. If we could take out 300, we could start to play lower. I am starving. Putin has announced that Russia will do everything that serves Iran's interests. Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. It's good stuff. Red candles back down to 27,300. I think the Iranian war will come to an end very soon and we will be victorious. The U.S. cannot tolerate Iran normalizing control of Hormuz. Yeah. It's been the most ridiculous series of political events I think I've ever seen. This Iranian back and forth nonsense. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It doesn't show strength. It doesn't show confidence. It shows ridiculousness. Still coming off here. Is that a high volume bottom wick on ES? Yes, it is. Very much so. Someone's destined destruction for what? For absolutely nothing. Still coming down just there. 4 minutes, and I'm going to call it a day. Any questions so far? We've kind of just watched this thing creep on some of the slowest price action in a while. And it's absolutely terrible. So what I'm looking for at earnings for the MAG 4 reports is AI earnings and the growth that AI spending is out of hand with them. So you're saying like too much spending on the AI? Out of control? OpenAI is declining in Microsoft. Now we need to see the returns. So we all the investments. Now we need to receive the returns. All right, y'all. I can't spell. No, it makes sense. 100%. 100%. I'm going to call this a day. This is slow. Matt Damon. Yeah. Remember, we have a big catalyst on Wednesday. If you're not sure what to do, then do nothing until then. So hope you have a good rest of the day. Hit me up with questions. I will see you all tomorrow.